Now to India's mission to track the terrorists behind Mumbai's 26/11 attacks. The US Ambassador to India, David Mulford, has reiterated that the dossier on 26/11 given to Pakistan has very credible material, but he's also indicated that the US is not convinced of the involvement of official Pakistani agencies in the attack.
When you say official sources or the government of Pakistan, that is a very blanket approach. And I think one needs to be very, very careful about making those kinds of allegations unless you have very concrete evidence to that degree of specificity. The United States tends not to get into that kind of specificity unless there's some justification for it. It involves a great deal of material, which is very credible material, which has been derived by the Indian government, but also to some extent by the FBI cooperating in Mumbai with the authorities there. And the package is, I think, very credible. I don't think you can judge them on their first reaction or on the statements of one particular individual in the government. I think it takes a little time. You have, after all, a situation there where there is a civilian government, a very strong military, a very strong intelligence agency, and a media and other players. And I think you have to take the view that it's going to take a little time to percolate to see what really is the outcome of these efforts. Let's face it, total no cooperation isn't a very good alternative as an indefinite proposition, is it? So you do have to sort of take the view that if you're going to make progress, you have to have some element of cooperation, and that means looking for ways to accomplish some minimal level of it.
So what Mr. Hadley is saying is find ways to cooperate, but he's not necessarily endorsing the Pakistani
I don't think he's endorsing
a joint mechanism.
No, I don't think he's, because there's already been a joint mechanism set up in the September of 2006 between Mr. Musharraf and the Prime Minister, and people here regard that as not having been successful. Well, I mean, I think a lot of people in the United States, for example, would like to think that when somebody commits a crime in some other country against Americans, that we'd like to extradite them. It doesn't happen very often, but that doesn't change the fact that you seek to extradite or you seek to convince the country under its law to prosecute.
What would happen if there is another terrorist strike linked back like the last one to sources and people in Pakistan?
I think that would be very serious.
Would it lead to war?
I don't know, but it would be a very serious matter.
Watch the full interview with David Mulford in Devil's Advocate tomorrow night at 8:30.